Hello, this is Brian Inuma with Strategic Systems Group, experts in enterprise resource planning. This presentation is being made today in conjunction with the South Bay Chambers of Commerce and the Microsoft Community Connections Program. With me today I have Mr. Eric Klaus from Partner Source Solutions and Mr. Eddie Bader from Company Build. So again, panel discussion, sales and marketing, social media, and productivity. So Eric, how about you go first? Aside from a customer relationship management program, what sorts of technologies should a small business consider for sales and marketing?
Perfect. Thanks, Brian. So what my recommendation would be, once you have started to go down the path of establishing your customer relationship management system, you've started to create a database of some prospects or customers, then the next big piece is to leverage marketing automation and bring in a marketing automation tool to help you fire off those emails and update information, whether that's a monthly newsletter or some other type of content that you want to be able to share. Provide that information out to those prospects and customers that you begun tracking in your CRM solution. And so the marketing automation tools are a great add-on to CRM. There are fantastic tools that are out there. Some start on the very low end, even free tools like MailChimp, depending upon how big your database is. When you're first getting started, MailChimp starts off at they start off at absolutely free. I think once you're getting to the point of, I believe it's when you get to the point of having 1,000 contacts that you're sending to, then they start to become a pay service at that point. But certainly in the beginning stages for many small businesses who would be envious of getting to the point of having 1,000 prospects or customers to be working with, MailChimp's a great tool to get started with. Constant Contact is another fantastic tool that's out there. Very low cost, not free, but low cost is my understanding there. And then hopefully all of us graduate from there up someday to the point of a tool like ClickDimensions, which is definitely a paid solution, but a much more robust solution, fully integrates into your website and has a lot of capabilities there. So a lot of options from the getting started phase on up to the more robust small to medium-sized business stage that are out there, but great tools and definitely a starting point for any small business.
Great. From a standpoint of frequency, someone who is starting out with, say, email marketing, what kind of frequency would you suggest?
I would suggest that at a minimum, once a month, some type of monthly update, I think is your bare bones starting point. From there, if you can, either get the content, either writing it yourself or working with partners to generate that content, I think that's the biggest challenge for a lot of small businesses is getting the content and getting it format that they can publish it. So, if ultimately you can get to the point where you're doing that on a weekly basis, again, I think that's a fantastic thing for a small business.
Great. Let's move on. We're going to talk a little bit about social media. And I'll take this question. What 3 social media platforms should a small business consider first? And we are kind of in that boat, and I'll kind of speak from the layman's perspective in a sense that we are just sort of starting out, getting our feet wet in this sort of thing. So we've kind of identified, I guess, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+. And I guess that's 4. The reason why I suggested 4 was because I'm also going to mention that we use a tool called Hootsuite. And Hootsuite's a tool whereby you could essentially make an entry in Hootsuite that would propagate the content through social media platforms. And as I recall, for Hootsuite, I think we have Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+ set up in Hootsuite because Facebook, as I recall, has its own scheduling platform. And one of the sort of interesting things about this tool is that you can sort of predefine the content and then have it go out at a predefined schedule. Facebook has that as well, so conceptually 3 in Hootsuite, 1 in Facebook, and basically it can all be done without charge. Once you go past 3 in Hootsuite, then Hootsuite would like to charge some money for it. which makes it a little bit different consideration, but still a worthwhile investment in time, as it saves quite a lot of effort on the back end. We'll move on from social media to productivity. And Eddie, if you could talk about Office 365 briefly. It's a pretty full-featured suite of applications. So maybe if you could, what 3 tools would a small or medium-sized business implement first?
Sure thing. I think what every small business or medium-sized business is going to use is your typical Word and Excel and PowerPoint. But to really get the most out of the Office 365 experience, I think there are a few tools that some people don't know about that they should be using. One is the SharePoint tool. This is a way for you to create a file structure in the cloud that allows your team, and what's nice about it is you can set it up for the whole company. You could set it up in teams. You know, there's a finance team, there's a sales team, and within a sales team you could have Western Division, Central Division, Eastern Division, and the tools and the files that those folks use the most will be accessible for them wherever they go. And it's especially useful for a mobile workforce, because wherever they are, whatever machine they're working on, they can have access to these files and that file structure without worrying about a VPN, without worrying about what device they're using. So SharePoint's a great tool for that. Also, OneNote is a wonderful tool. Think about having numerous workbooks or 3-room binders. Maybe it's for processes, maybe it's for initiatives that your company has. I think using OneNote is a great way to collaborate with your team and within the work environment. It also helps prevent the need for everybody to be in the same place. You can edit documents, and you can, with that add-on, you can set up multi-factor authentication, and with that you can make your accounts across the company more secure. So you can add, instead of just a password, you can actually have a code sent to your mobile device, and it will be prompted upon login so that you have 2 forms of authentication before accessing your account. And that's especially important, especially when you're using SharePoint or you're going to use something like OneNote, where you have your information in the cloud. You can rest assured that the people who are accessing the information, your company's information, are the ones that are supposed to be. So I think those are the 3 top things that I would say small and mid-sized businesses should be looking at to use in their Office 365 subscription.
Very good. Well, thank you, Eddie. One thing that we've sort of found useful for Office 365 is email. So is there anything special about email in Office 365?
Well, I think one of the nice things is that because of the way it's integrated with all of the other applications, it allows you to attach documents or reference recently viewed items via email. What's also nice is that the power of email gets exponential when you use SharePoint or even OneDrive, and we didn't really talk about that, but you can actually share files without sending them via email. You can actually send them a link to a particular file. Let's say it's a client file, and you want only a specific user in the client's company to actually access that. You can send it directly to their email, and only that email has access to that file. I think it's a great utilization of the platform, and it really cuts down on bulky messages. It cuts down on your inbox, and what's nice about that is via links shared via that email platform, you can actually control the end user experience. You can give them access for 24 hours, for 30 days. You can let them view only, or you can let them edit, which means they can download a copy and and change it if they wanted to.
Okay, great. Thank you, Eddie.
Welcome.
So that does it for our panel discussion for today. There is a URL on the screen for a survey. If you have a chance, would you please provide some feedback? Thanks, gentlemen, for your time today.
Welcome, Brian. Always a pleasure.
And you have
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, great. Have a great day. Thanks.
You too.